Hey everyone, welcome to week 21 essentials, and I miss you guys. This video is I'm just offering a little bit extra help with the diagramming and the grammar portion of essentials today. So here we go. Alright, let's remember this scripture. Perseverance must finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. Okay, let's start today with diagramming. Did Claire the dog scare the fluffy striped cat when it hid under the table? Remember, you can pause, rewind, and replay as much as you need to today. So go ahead and pause now and try to diagram this. Okay, how'd you do? Okay, let's review compound, complex. I made these little popsicle sticks at home, and you can make one if you want. It says compound on one side, complex on the other. And you can listen to my questions now, and if you think it's complex, hold up your complex. If you think it's compound, hold up your compound. Okay, let's try this. Okay, here's the first sentence, or the first question. Which compound or complex is it? Okay. Consists of at least two independent clauses. Hold up your sign. That's right, compound. How about this one? Consists of one independent clause and at least one subordinate clause. That would be complex. Contains a subordinating conjunction or relative pronoun. That would be complex. Contains a coordinating conjunction. Ding, 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 compound. The two clauses don't need each other and can stand alone. That would be compound. The subordinate clause needs the independent clause and cannot stand alone. That would be complex. How about this sentence? My mom is happy and she is kind. Compound. And lastly, my dad gave me a hug, which made me happy. That would be complex. Good job. Okay, so this week we are moving into the compound complex structure, which is a combination of the compound structure and the complex structure. So they'll have at least two independent clauses and a subordinate clause. Okay, let's look at some examples. Our first sentence, Snoopy barked and he howled. This is an SVI compound structure. Okay, now let's look at our second example, Snoopy who jumped barked. That's an SVI complex. Great, so now let's try to combine these two into one sentence to create a compound complex structure. What's the independent clause or clauses? Snoopy barked and he howled. What's the subordinate clause? Who jumped. Now let's diagram this. Okay, starting with our subject, Snoopy, and our verb, barked. Let's add our coordinating conjunction, like so. Our second subject and verb. There's our compound part. Now let's add our complex part. Who is our subject? Jumped is the verb. This is an adjectival clause modifying Snoopy. Okay, let's look at our next two examples. Mom loves me and she loves my brother. And Mom who hugged me loves me. Let's look at number 3. Is it compound or complex? Well, do you see the coordinating conjunction and two independent clauses? So it's compound. How about number 4? Right, it's complex. What sentence pattern do these sentences have? They both have SVT-DO. Okay, let's combine sentences 3 and 4 to make a compound complex structure. A little bit about conjunctions today. So get out your chart H. Do you remember the fanboys? For, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. The fanboys are found in our compound sentences, and then compound or subordinating conjunctions. www.asia.wub. What are they? When, while, where, as, since, if, although, whereas, unless, because. Often found in complex sentences connecting an independent clause to a subordinate clause. Relative pronouns. These include that, who, whose, whom, and which, and they can introduce adjectival subordinate clauses. Remember, the correlative conjunctions come in pairs, like either or, neither nor, both and, whether or, not only but also, and not and but. So you've seen conjunctions used to create the compound sentence structure, but they can also create compound subjects, verbs, objects, or phrases. And we're going to look at some examples and how to diagram these. All right, let's look at sentence 5. Charlie, Linus, and Sally sing a song. This is an SVTDO sentence. See the word and? When you first look at that, you might think, oh, it's a compound sentence, but it's not. All right. Do we have two independent clauses? No, we don't. We only have one verb. Sing. Okay. So, what's going on here? This is a compound subject. Okay? There's 3. Charlie sang. Linus sing. Sally sing, right? Charlie, Linus, and Sally sing. Let's diagram this compound subject. Okay, so we start with 3 lines for the compound subject. Let's plug them in here. Charlie, Linus, oops, that's supposed to be Sally. That's okay. Put our coordinating conjunction right here. And then we diagram the rest of the sentence like normal. Here's our verb, direct object, article, adjective. He swings the bat and throws the ball. There's our coordinating conjunction. Is this a compound structure? No, it's not a compound structure because that would require 2 or more independent clauses, both having a subject and a verb. But there's only one subject. Lucy swings the bat and throws the ball. She does 2 things. Swings, throws. So here we have simple structure, compound verb. Let's diagram this. We have our subject. We're going to put in our 2 verbs, swing, and our coordinating conjunction and in the middle. All right. And throw is our other verb. And we need to put in our direct objects. What does she throw and what does she swing? Okay. Sentence 7. I like milk and cookies. There's our coordinating conjunction. But we don't have 2 independent clauses. We have 2 direct objects. Okay, let's diagram simple structure with a compound direct object. We have our subject I, and our verb like. And we're going to add in our compound direct object, just like this. Here's our coordinated conjunction, and there we go.
Example, number 8, he brushed his teeth after breakfast and before bedtime. Where's our coordinated conjunction? There it is. But before bedtime is not an independent clause, is it? It's a prepositional phrase, and there's the object of the preposition, bedtime. Before bedtime. So this is actually connecting two prepositional phrases, compound prepositional phrase. So after breakfast is a prepositional phrase, and before bedtime is a prepositional phrase. So there's our simple SVTDO. He brushed teeth, SVTDO, and it has a compound prepositional phrase.
Okay, you brush teeth. Let's add in our compound prepositional phrases. They're modifying brushed because they're telling when he brushed. He brushed after and before. After breakfast and before bedtime. And our coordinated conjunction goes right here. Okay, let's talk about our first verbal.
Okay, so we have infinitives, which is to plus a verb. Let's look at my examples. We'll go up here. To sing is delightful. Where's the infinitive? To sing. It's being used as a noun. Okay? And specifically a subject. Alright, I love to sing. To sing is being used as the direct object. I need a song to sing. To sing is functioning as an adjective modifying song. Next, you are easy to love. To love is our infinitive, and it is an adverb modifying easy. Alright, let's look at some more. Now, infinitives can actually be part of a whole clause. Here we have to win the game. Takes practice. So to win the game is our infinitive phrase, and it's being used as a subject. So that whole phrase right there is the subject. Okay? Alright, I love to play volleyball. I, subject, love, verb, to play volleyball. Starts with an infinitive, and that whole thing is the direct object. How about this one? They had the time to visit their friends. They, subject, had, verb, had what? Time, direct object. And then we have to visit their friends. That whole phrase, to visit their friends, is modifying time. So it's being used as an adjective. Crazy. If you look back at chart Q, see how infinitives are diagrammed. So wherever they go in your diagram, you're going to put them up on little stilts like this. And it almost looks like a prepositional phrase up on stilts, but it's not. It's an infinitive, of course. This one is being used as a subject. So we have these little stilts here connecting it to the subject line. That's how you diagram them. Pretty cool.
Okay, just FYI, how can you tell the difference between a prepositional phrase and an infinitive? Because to can be a preposition too, right? Well, remember, an infinitive always is to plus a verb, whereas a prepositional phrase will have to plus a noun. The object of a preposition will always be a noun or pronoun. Okay? Cool.
Bye guys, miss you. Have a good week.